You're breathing pretty hard, Max.
What?
You're breathing pretty hard.
Oh, that's deliberate. I'm just exhaling.
You're exhaling.
Yeah.
Why?
No, dude, I'm running.
Oh, all right.
Because I'm just... Exhale is a good thing.
Yeah, it is. Let's just breathe.
Breathe through your nose and out through your heart. Are we on?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to use any of this.
No, why not?
I don't know. But Max,
Yes.
welcome to Magazine Episode 3.
Yes. Are you liking the title magazine? Is it grabbing you?
Yeah.
I threw it out to my wife and she goes, "What?" I said, "It's like a magazine." She didn't get it. I said,
right.
"This is his project."
All right.
And you still think it's our project.
Well, it is our project. You're not my guest. You're my partner.
Okay, but you are the leader of the show. You're the main host.
We went through this in the first episode. If anyone's even made it to number 3, they don't give a shit anymore. So how you doing?
How am I doing? A little tired. It's been, October is my month, man. It's my month. And it never fails to be chock full of events and activities and all kinds of things going on. And I have a guy coming in this weekend who is building custom shelves in my office.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's
you're treating yourself to some new things.
I would go so far as to say this is our first remodeling project since we purchased the condominium.
Okay.
This is really the first serious alteration of a room.
Right.
And as a result of that, I've had to clear out my entire office. Like, where's it going to go? It's not going to go into storage. That's crammed.
Right. And you're finding things you forgot you had.
I'm finding all kinds of shit, and it's a lot of work. And I have hundreds and hundreds of books and DVDs and Blu-rays and weird statues, and I got a lot of shit.
So you're having a Max Koch garage sale.
Yeah, I mean, because then you have to deal with people. But
That's true.
But see, it's all at once cathartic, but all at once really exhausting. And then I'm realizing, maybe choosing the month of October to make that happen was unwise. As things slow down, November, December, usually in the household, October is always the craziest month.
Right.
So why the fuck would I do this on October?
Well, let's expand that. You are Mr. Halloween.
Yeah!
Favorite holiday of the year.
I was married on Halloween.
You're married on Halloween. You love the Halloween. You love the gore. You love the filth. You love the scariness. You love the filth.
I love watching scary movies, but most horror is really unsettling these days. Although, if we can pause for Halloween a second, there is a new documentary I saw last night which features true life horror that I would like to bring to magazine as a recommendation.
Bring it on.
It's on iTunes, and it's a documentary from the Danish Film Commission. Even though it takes place in Florida, in a trailer park that mainly houses sex offenders.
Yeah.
It feels like an American documentary. It's called Pervert Park. Fascinating.
Funded by the Danes.
Yeah. If you're like me and you love lifting up the rock to see what's under it, to see all the bugs scurry out and then like brush away some of the bugs and then you see the worms start to squiggle around.
Don't know if I'm quite like you.
But you got to check this doc out. I mean, some of these guys... and there's a female sex offender in there, mind you. But some of these guys, man, they're walking around with their ankle bracelets because they have to be monitored 24/7.
Now, all of these are on one park?
It's one shitty little mobile park. I mean,
Are they all molesting each other?
Well, that's what's funny is because, again, it's so heavily monitored because they basically have counselors who go there every single day. I think some of the counselors live there. It's a small little trailer park, but they have a central area where they all convene and have their meetings, just like you have Al-Anon meetings or AA meetings, or these are sex offender meetings.
But they're living there too.
Oh, correct.
So it's a whole sex
they're living
offender
in trailers.
Bubble.
It's a sex offender world, and they all kind of have each other's backs. I probably shouldn't have said that, but there's very odd tensions, and then there's very warm friendships. But I got to tell you, some of these sex offenders were horrifying. I mean, they made me sick. Mm-hmm. There was one guy who raped a 5-year-old girl. And that is really hard stuff to hear.
It is.
But it's happening, and it's stuff that I am not one of these people who shies away from the horrors of the world, like true life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. In fact, I'm drawn towards it. And the minute I saw this on iTunes, I'm like, holy shit. I hope no one thinks I'm going to be weird for renting this, but I rented it.
Right.
And
now it's intriguing
fascinating.
on we all have our
sociological level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all have our train wreck voyeuristic tendencies.
Yes.
But when something is kind of sick like that, raping a 5-year-old, it's really hard to see it when it's in your face.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm going to see it.
Oh yeah, you have to, and don't worry about seeing the actual rape. Of
Right.
a 5-year-old.
It's just the description of it.
There is a Yeah, it's described,
Wow.
and these guys definitely talk about why they were convicted and put on the sexual predator registry.
Wow.
There's a registry.
Yeah.
You know that.
Of course.
And when a sexual predator moves into your neighborhood,
right,
you have to be alerted. And then he becomes like the Frankenstein's monster of the village.
This is hard to respond to.
Well, that doesn't help for podcasting.
No, it doesn't. But let's put this in the whole Halloween bubble.
Yes.
Halloween, is a combination of scary and spooky and a little bit,
sexy.
Yeah, but also a little creepy.
Yeah,
and there's obviously
unnerving, dread.
Yeah, there's degrees of it though.
All of this stuff is very
Your
healthy.
Halloween bubble,
Yes.
I think, is a little more unnerving and creepier than most.
Why?
Because number one, you actually just lumped the pervert park into the Halloween bubble.
Yeah, why did I do that?
Yeah, because your line
Well, we were
of
talking about
creepiness
horror.
It's
We were talking about horror. I'm
longer
greatly
line.
dissatisfied with many modern horror films, although I did just rent Clown Town, which I will be checking out later today on my couch. But so I don't know what that's about. But you've heard about the scary clowns that are popping out in the woods in real life?
I heard, and they're actually hurting people.
Yeah, and it's an epidemic.
Yeah.
There are clowns in the woods
Right.
that are coming out of the woods and terrorizing people.
They are literally happy on the outside and sad on the inside. For real. These are...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm all into that, but yeah,
well, most
man.
of the world thinks America's full of clowns anyway.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, talk about the horrors of the world. It's just so thematic. But yeah, I mean, this is my month, and I celebrate Halloween morning, noon, and night for 31 days. Actually, every day is Halloween for me.
That's insane.
And I've already fully decorated my house with all of my Halloween stuff.
With goblins and pumpkins and
yes.
ghosts and
Oh.
scary misters
Lights.
and missuses.
I have a Halloween tree.
Do you have Halloween sheets and blankets and that kind of thing?
No, but we do have Halloween dish towels. And I put out the Halloween soap.
Halloween,
So if you
so
go-
it's black soap, I assume.
Well, it's a little it's a soap bottle shaped like a jack-o'-lantern.
When
and
you
it's
wash your
pumpkin
hands,
soap.
does it turn blood red when you wash your
That
hands?
would be great, but I don't think they've
I
they've
think you
gone
should
that far
invent
with
that.
it. I
Yeah.
know. Well, I have a lot of ideas that
Well,
I can't find fine answers on.
But putting that into the bubble, you got married on Halloween.
I got
Your
married on Halloween.
Wedding anniversary.
oh, it was
Your
the greatest.
marital
You were
bliss.
there.
I was there.
The theme of the wedding was any character from the history of cinema, and you came as Fred Flintstone.
I did.
Which I guess there were 2 live-action Fred Flintstone movies.
There was.
So you got away with it.
Well, it wasn't by chance. We researched it.
Yes, you did.
We said we want to go as Wilma and Fred. Went with my wife,
Yeah.
who was Wilma, and she's Japanese, so she was a Japanese Wilma. So she was Wilma-san.
She was great.
I was Fred, and it was great. And that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Don't want to date the show, but Halloween's in a few weeks.
Yep. Well, you know what's amazing is that, my wife at the time, let's see, I married her, it'll be 17 years, so that was 1999. My wife at the time, I don't think she'd really found who she was yet. I think I really corrupted her. And I'm the one who came up with the Halloween wedding idea, and she completely went with it. And she embraced the whole, we're like Morticia and Gomez Adams. We really are. 2 misfits, found each other in a world of shit, and we both have this slant on reality.
And your families are both cast of characters.
Yes.
You have an Uncle Fester. You have
Completely.
a cousin It. You've got a Pugsley and a Tuesday.
Yeah. So she went for the idea full bore, and oh my gosh, do you remember we had a lurch walk down the aisle with a severed hand on a silver tray, and on that severed hand were our rings.
I remember that.
We had jack-o'-lantern centerpieces.
Yeah, you did.
We had everyone in costume.
Yeah, it was scary and creepy.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And yeah, so this is you're not into Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, I don't go trick-or-treating now.
Right.
I don't dress up, and I give out candy if kids come to my house, which is very rare these
Well,
days.
why would you go trick-or-treating now?
Well, I think the adult trick-or-treating fad is actually coming back. A
Is
lot
it
of
really?
a lot of adults go trick-or-treating. I'm actually surprised you don't.
Wow.
As a kid, totally. I actually, ironically, I met my wife at a Halloween party.
Really?
Yeah,
That's great.
I did. It was half musicians and half Halloween. Everyone was dressed up.
That's cool.
But the people that were musicians played.
Yeah.
And the people that were not were just walking around. We were all dressed up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I met her. And we also got married in October, but the beginning of October. Now the difference is my wife couldn't care less about our anniversary.
Right.
She just completely forgot about it.
Now, is
But
it
your
just
wife is
because-
into it.
Is it? Oh yeah.
She's into it.
Well, I mean, we're going away to Cayucas, which is on the Central Coast, so we
Nice.
like to celebrate Halloween up there because, well, it's 25 degrees cooler, and there's the smell of burning wood in the air, and you get the autumn leaves and everything else. But why did your wife forget your anniversary?
Because she couldn't care less.
You know,
Only woman in America that couldn't care less, and it's okay.
in our family, we actually have a crap ton of October weddings. There's yours and Naomi's. There's my sister's, Ashley, and her husband, Josh. There's Carol and Tom Payson.
There's a lot of people that no one
And
listening knows.
Yeah, exactly. And there's mine and Nicole's. How about that?
Well, I think October is, besides being scary and creepy, it's been, so you can legally have sex.
I want to go back to trick-or-treating because you said it seems like something I would do. I had very, very, very traumatic trick-or-treating experiences. And it turned out, I would trick-or-treat in like Woodland Hills, and it was amazing. Like I remember, speaking of Lurch, Ted Cassidy lived right around the corner
The actor.
from us, yes, who played Lurch. And you'd walk up to his doorbell, and you ring his doorbell, and it's Fifth of Beethoven. It went, bo, 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 bo. And he'd answer the door. I mean, he did the whole thing and put out the bag of candy. But, dude, I was beat up on Halloween. I've had my candy bag stolen on Halloween. I've had
Wow. Were you
bag snatched on Halloween.
trick-or-treating in Compton?
I was, well, once we left Woodland Hills and
Yeah.
moved to Canoga Park, the trick-or-treating
Wow.
got shitty.
The ghetto of Canoga Park.
Absolutely. And so I really was more into like our friends, the Raskoffs, growing up. My friend Kevin, his dad and mom and everything, they'd put out a whole graveyard in the front yard and dry ice and scary music and all that. So trick-or-treating was a part of the evening, but I was always the hired ghoul. So I would be the guy running around acting like, Quasimodo with the rubber mask and the dirty brown shirt and hiding behind tombstones and leaping up and scaring people. That was my gig. And I love that.
Yeah.
I actually love that so much more than trick-or-treating.
So no one was obviously beating you up doing that.
Yeah. And it's so funny, too, because people are like, hey, you must love dressing up every year. And it's like, that's actually the worst part of it because it's such a pain in the ass and costumes are so competitive now. And
Yeah, but I'm surprised because you're an actor.
yeah, but I spend every day putting on wigs and noses and glasses and shit. So for me, Halloween's like, wow, if I can just go up to the Central Coast and drink pumpkin beer on the beach
Right.
and watch a horror movie on the beach, that's perfect.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But let me go back to when you were a kid because we talked about clowns and scary. Even though you were scaring people, and I guess I'm interviewing you now. What?
It always goes that way.
It kind of does. What? And I'm learning about you. What were you afraid of? Did clowns scare you?
Clowns weren't too scary until I saw the television production of Stephen King's It. See, again, I wasn't monitored much as a child, so we had Z Channel, and I was watching The Exorcist and Burnt Offerings and The Shining over and over and over again, so I had sort of worn down my fear factor. Like I was not really scared of much. However, I will say that there was something about Salem's Lot. Do you remember that TV film based on the Stephen King novel?
Yeah.
There was something about the vampire kid hanging outside the window, tapping on the window, and the light was shining up on him, and he's kind of wearing his, pajamas.
Yeah, that was
He was
creepy.
the dead kid tapping on the window. That always freaked me out. So then I started to think about, monsters under the bed type stuff. More paranormal entity, supernatural, bad energy shit was the stuff that freaked me out.
I see.
Because I spent a lot of time alone as a kid. So, like, let's say my parents aren't going to come home till later, mom and stepdad or whatever. It's like, I'm talking about the middle stepdad in the Woodland Hills house. Well, that was a big house. And it'd be like 6 o'clock and it's fall and the sun's already down and they're not home yet. And you're just in that house and then you're waiting for the phone to ring and then you answer it. Have you checked the children? Ma'am, we traced the line. The call is coming from inside the house. I mean, that kind of shit.
It's all theater of the mind.
Oh,
and it scares the fuck out of you.
I could sit there, even in broad daylight, I could sit and really concentrate and get to the point where I could probably scare myself.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like being alone and watching The Shining.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some scary shit.
Yeah.
Because most of it's in your head. I mean, obviously you've got, Jack Nicholson, axing down the door, but a lot of it is just what's happening in your mind. And The Exorcist, when I was a kid, The Exorcist scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
And
but we love to be terrified, though.
Yeah. What a treat it was. Well, it's very healthy for the body to be scared. This I've learned scientifically.
Why?
Horror films, because
is it a purge of your emotions?
It's a purge of emotions. It's a catharsis. You can work yourself up to a hysteria to the point where you need to cry it out. And crying is certainly a very healthy thing. You don't seem like you ever cry.
I cry.
When do you cry?
Well, I'm not saying I cry in front of you.
When's the last time you really bawled?
Well, crying or bawling?
Bawling.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I cry.
Were you just like... and it's just all pouring out of you. That release is so healthy.
It's true.
So when you're scared, your heart's racing, you're tense.
The adrenaline is going.
The adrenaline's going. You're on high alert. You're looking around. You're on defensive mode. It's all good stuff for survival.
But isn't that your daily life?
Pretty much. Pretty much. But then I can turn it off, unwind, exhale. Have some wine. This Frontier Red.
We are drinking wine right now. We're drinking a nice red that Max brought for this podcast.
Yeah.
And cheers to you, Max.
It's a Santa Maria wine, and it's a red blend.
For all of you listening, we highly recommend you drink more wine to enjoy life. In moderation, but we think wine is one of the keys of life.
Yeah, what am I doing? Sorry, I thought you... There you go, brother.
So this podcast is definitely fueled by wine if you're listening.
I hope you're listening while drinking wine. Why did it suddenly get so stuffy in here? Because you can't have the air on while we're recording?
I turned the air off.
Jesus.
Want me to turn the air on?
No, it's okay. So when's the last time you wept? Just do you weep at like
I will
movies?
sometimes, yeah. I will sometimes cry at a very sad documentary of something touching.
But more human-related sadness.
All human-related stuff.
You don't cry at animal shit ever.
No. I mean...
You hate animals.
I love animals.
No, you don't.
I do. I love animals and nature. But, but the thing is, though...
But you don't like domestic pets.
Well, I love domestic pets. I love not having them now.
Why is that?
I'm free. I feel totally free. I don't have to board them if I travel. I don't have to pay for them. It'd be great to, have a dog or cat around.
But you have a wife who would love to have a kitty cat.
She would love.
So why do you get to make the rules? If she's cleaning up the poops and she's handling the cat and taking care of the cat, what do you care?
I'm winning that fight for now, but I know I'm going to lose in the future.
Yeah.
I'm just winning. It's just temporary. I'm just renting the win right now.
You know how many cats need homes?
Yeah, but they don't need my home.
Of course they do.
And I love cats. Don't get me wrong.
Just have one come in.
No, not right now.
Oh, boy.
No, this is what I'm doing.
That's terrible.
But this is a good segue. I was going to ask you because I love nature and I love animals, and that's what I do a lot when I'm not playing music. I'm lucky enough. And I'm going to go in a few weeks, and I'm going to swim with the biggest fish in the world.
Oh, yeah.
In one of my favorite places in Baja, and swim with whale sharks. Do you love nature?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you do to commune with nature?
Well, listen, I used to be a major camper. But I don't have anyone who will go camping with me.
Your wife will not camp with you.
No, because she gets the jumping Jimmy legs at night, and she needs a bathtub. So there's something called glamping.
Yeah.
They're these very cool little cabins, but they've got electricity and they've got hot running water and
a jacuzzi.
I'm talking her into. I used to go with my friend Adam over to Catalina Island, and they have a beautiful campsite there where they have hot showers, at all hours. Coin 'em up showers. The water's hot. They're streaming in island music up there. And all you do is, you put your gear on your back essentially, and you get on a boat and you go across. And I'd say, Adam and I didn't do this because we brought our bikes, but I would say you could rent a golf cart and you head all the way up near Wrigley there, and you set up your site, and then you take the golf cart down into the city, or into the town rather. Go to Vaughn's, get your food, go on back up. You're grilling, you're drinking wine, you're hanging out, you got a hot shower, and you're camping on an island in the Pacific.
So you're backpacking on a boat with a golf cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't call it trekking.
Right.
It's not even schlepping. It's just more, let's get the backpack and let other people
Well, not so
move
much
it around.
backpacking, because I'm pretty high maintenance with that. But if I can find a good, there's a couple of really great campsites, in San Simeon. If I can fill my car and set up a whole site for just 4 or 5 days, there's a great one in Morro Bay. And I'll tell you something else. With urban nature now, this is how I'm communing. And it's a new practice. It's only about 2 or 3 months old, but this is what I do. I wake up very early in the morning before anyone's up, almost at the crack of dawn's ass. And I go and I sit on my balcony because I live on the 4th floor, and I'm facing the Hollywood Hills, so I see lots of trees and green and everything else. And I have 2 giant hummingbird feeders.
Hummingbirds.
And I watch all my little guys come to life, and I watch them feed, and I change out the feeder, and then I watch the crows fly by, and then I watch the other birds fly by, and then I watch the squirrels go across the roof. And that, for me, is my daily communal with nature right now.
You live in an urban jungle.
Yeah.
With ferocious hummingbirds, crows, and...
They are little shits, though. They get into fights.
They're aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they love you, and they love your nectar. So you just love little things that love your nectar.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I love providing for them and researching them. My wife got me 2 hummingbird books for my birthday. I devoured them, read them up. So I'm fairly knowledgeable now. And my hummingbirds are so spoiled, they get both clear sugar water that I home make, and they get the red stuff if they want to have some candy.
It's a buffet.
It's a buffet. And I've seen them perch hop. And I'm like, bar's closed, fellas. I got gnome.
That's
I got
right.
the gnome. Honey.
You've got your hummingbird last call. Last call. Do you put a little bit of brandy in there?
Oh, God.
You shouldn't have, though. No, they'll die.
But, your exodus, that's every year. And I was like, wow, does he have to do this every year?
Every year.
It wasn't until you brought me down.
I did take you.
And we made a series of videos about them.
We did.
That I understood.
Have
you seen Sicario?
Yeah.
Because I thought about Sicario.
Yeah. No, nothing like that happens. My trip is not a Sicario trip.
Because Lorenzo's the guy who thinks that nothing will ever go wrong, and nothing ever really does go wrong for him, so he's probably right. I was the guy who was...
I don't draw that shit towards me.
Yeah, because you're driving 12 hours through Mexico.
Yeah, Baja.
So I'm waiting for the federales to pull me over, to get me out of the truck, and then the cartel comes down, abducts me, and beheads me and chops off my hands. That's what I'm waiting for. But that doesn't happen.
No. Well, I wouldn't be going down if that happened.
Yeah.
If that happened to me once, then it would be over anyway.
So tell us about that place that you always go to.
There's a place in the middle of Baja.
Right.
And it's on the Sea of Cortez. And it's a little bay, and it's filled with plankton for about 5 months of the year. Because there's so much plankton there, the whale sharks come and they feed, and then you can take a boat and go jump in the water and swim with them. Yeah. And it's pretty spiritual. You feel really small, which I really like.
It's unbelievable. And that whole area down there, it has a real kind of, dare I say, an apocalyptic kind of feeling. Because it's third worldian, but there's also a little resort there that you stay at.
I wouldn't call it a resort. It's just a little hotel. Resort is being very generous.
But it's kind of end timesy because there's a lot of just abandoned houses.
It's just the middle of nowhere. And it's not really that modern, which is what I love about it. It's nature in the raw. So you go there and you're going back in time.
Yeah.
You're going to basically, it's Mexico like it was 100 years ago.
Right.
And it's got whale sharks and sea lions and manta rays and dolphins and sea turtles, and it's just this amazing aquarium that you can just jump right into and have nature
How
interact
many years
right
have you gone?
This is going to be my 20th year.
Wow, so that's kind of a milestone.
It's pretty cool, and you're with literally the biggest fish because it's a shark, so it's not a whale. but in the world. So they're about 30 to 35 feet long there. I don't know, they weigh something like 15 tons.
Right.
But they have no teeth, and they're not aggressive,
Yeah.
and they only want to eat little plankton. They don't want to eat you. So you can jump in the water and be chill and just swim with them, and it's very, very zen.
Yeah, I mean, we got down and dirty when I went. I mean, you're out there, and it's so great because the guys are different now who run the little boats, right?
Well, I've been going with the same guy for years.
It's still Ricardo down there.
Yeah, a guy named Ricardo.
He's great. But when I was on the boat, there was Ricardo and that other guy.
Yeah.
Who was that other guy?
His name was Arturo.
Arturo.
But he was only there for about a year.
Right. But that year, it's like we're hanging on the boat, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, Arturo catches some fish. He gets out his knife. He's got some ingredients. 2 minutes later, instant ceviche.
It was fantastic.
It was so good.
But it's nature, which is basically my church.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a spiritual person, I don't consider myself religious.
Right.
But nature is where I pray.
Yeah.
If I do pray.
And you really love oceanic nature.
Absolutely.
Especially. That's your big thing.
I go boogie boarding, and I live near the beach. Now, you're not a big water guy.
No.
Are you?
I love water.
I've never seen you at the beach. And, I mean, when I took you, you were in the water all the time, but that was just that one trip.
Right.
I've never seen you at the beach. You don't surf. You don't boogie board. You don't body surf.
No, I did growing up for sure.
Yeah?
I absolutely did. No, I love boogie boarding. I just lost the practice of it. You know what I mean?
And that was in between the filth and the horror and the
Listen,
and everything.
Beach. I go to Cayucas, 3 times a year. It's right on the Central Coast.
And are you in the water?
Gorgeous up there. Not so much because it's a much rougher terrain.
Oh, it's the rough
But
terrain.
I wound up getting my little, beach boots.
Yeah.
You can walk in the water, and you're walking on rocks and shards and everything, and it's not hurting.
That's true. That's true.
But no, I love swimming in the ocean.
Okay, all right.
I don't love swimming in Southern California ocean, though.
Right.
Because it's just so...
It doesn't look nice. It actually really isn't as dirty as it used to be.
Okay.
But it does have a gray twinge to it.
Yeah.
That doesn't. It's not.
I just feel like I'm swimming in a sewer.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
It looks like it. It does.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go back to the whole pet thing because I want to tell our audience the 2 loves of your life besides the hummingbirds. You're a pug lover.
Yeah.
And you've got pugs. You've got 2 black plugs.
Black plugs.
Plugs. Spark plugs. And their names are?
Mickey and Malcolm.
And they're the loves of your life, besides your wife.
Yeah.
And
yeah, seriously.
They are amazing dogs.
They're my best friends, and they're both absolute train wrecks, and they both need so much attention. I mean, right now, Mickey is going through some coughing thing. We took him to the doctor. We got him on amoxicillin and some cough suppressants. The amoxicillin made his stomach terrible. So then he wound up farting all night, and horrible farts too. And then you have to suppress his coughing. And then you have this, and then you have that. Now we have to bring him back to... I can't...
But it is Halloween almost.
I can't even tell you how much they mean to me. They're just the best. They're ridiculous. And yeah, pugs, back to the Woodland Hills house, there used to be this little pug. She was old. Her name was Misty. She didn't belong to me, but she lived across the street. And I'd be out front playing or whatever, and all of a sudden I'd hear... And that was Misty walking across the street to say hello to me. And she moved really slowly, and she had no nose, and, her face is punched in, and she's got big brown eyes popping out of her head. Marty Feldman style, and I'm like, this is the greatest creature I've ever seen in my life. So while they're not necessarily athletic or heroic or anything else, the breed is actually very comical. So they provide constant laughs. So since that, my first official pug was Bugsy, who we got in Seattle. Then there was Lily. Then there was Mickey and Malcolm. And in between Bugsy and Lily, we adopted a guy named Tyler. He was blind, had one eye, and was blind in the eyeball that he had. And he had cancer, and he had sarcoptic mange. But he was the sweetest little thing, but he brought so many problems into our house. And then once the cancer was starting to take over, we put him down.
I am never getting a pet again.
You have to.
But that was the thing. You, besides just getting dogs, you don't really get dogs. You are rescuing these dogs.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've known you with most of the pugs. I don't remember Tyler though. But
he was on Arch Drive for a little while. But you met Bugsy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Bugsy was purebred. We actually bought him. We bought him as a puppy and raised him.
But I thought
ever
it was
since
still
we rescued.
But you rescued them though.
Yeah.
Okay. So the dog
Lily was a rescue.
Right.
She wound up having bladder stones.
Yeah.
She drained my first, the biggest my savings account had gotten. Boom.
Gone.
Out goes $2,000 for surgery.
Yeah, you're just trying to get gigs as an actor to pay for your dog. Mm-hmm. But your dogs are incredibly cute, but you saved their life, so you're performing an amazing service to save these entities, and they're bringing you a lot of joy.
Yes, and I will never bring a dog to a vet again to be put down like we did Tyler, because I completely fell apart and I couldn't even leave that place. They had to carry me out. So when Lily passed, and God forbid when Mickey and Malcolm go, we hire a guy who shows up with a basket, and he gives the dog 3 shots. The first shot is to just mellow them out. The second shot is to put them asleep. And the third shot is to stop their heart.
Wow.
So
all in your house.
They die beautifully right in the house.
It's like the cleaner.
Yeah.
You hire the cleaner. You got a situation.
Yep.
Guy comes over.
Yep.
No problem. I'll clean up the situation.
Yep.
And it's all sanitary.
Scoops up your dead baby, puts
and
them
goodbye.
in a basket.
You give a little kiss,
Little kiss.
salute. See you later.
And then 3 weeks later, you get a package, and it's their ashes, which we've got 2 or 3 now, little dog houses that are full of ashes.
It comes UPS?
Yeah.
So UPS delivers your dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's your dead dog.
Here's your dead dog, and you can...
And the idea is, once I go and once Nicole goes and we have all the ashes of our animals, all those ashes are blended together, and they're thrown over Cayucas Beach. Enough of us already.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the dog is actually surfing more than you are.
Yeah. So, again, just oceanic contributions that aren't shit and piss and puke. I'm telling you, I have been down here in the beach, in the water, and I have seen turds floating by. Terrible. Are you going to see The Shallows?
What's The Shallows? Is that a movie?
It's a movie. Who's the chick in it? Damn it. Well, some hot blonde chick and a shark. That's it. It's like...
I'm kind of there.
It's a total throwback to Jaws. She gets stuck out in the water.
It's just her trying to get away from the shark.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think.
Right.
In shallow water, actually. So
I
she
see.
can't get to the shoreline, so...
Right. So it's that one scene in Jaws with the...
Correct. It's the opening scene.
It's the opening scene
but a
made
whole
into an
movie.
entire movie.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not going to see that until I see this Amanda Knox doc on Netflix.
Oh, right.
So, see, I haven't ordered to my...
So I see.
Because we got to see what's going on with that chick.
Now, to tell people, we are recording this podcast in my studio in LA. And my studio is just a room in a big rehearsal complex.
Yeah.
So there's a guy drumming across the hall right now. So if you hear drumming, that's why. So I can't help that.
Yeah.
So in and out, you might hear bands and music and drumming.
It's kind of a subdued accompaniment.
Little bit. But anyway, if you hear some like boom, boom, boom in the background,
Yeah.
that's the reason.
That's a good explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always love coming down here to your studio, except when you turn the air off. It's so mellow in here. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I'm loving this wine.
What are you going to do for Halloween?
For Halloween, frankly, I might get some candy. I think about 3 kids come to our house. Not a lot of kids in the neighborhood. And that's really it.
Are they still saying, trick or treat?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm assuming, I will probably see in kids, if I do see any kids, Obama masks, probably Trump masks, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe probably Johnny Depp.
Hey, so I think Bahia would be a great place when the shit goes down. It's like whenever I go down there, it feels like where Linda Hamilton and the Terminator kind of found themselves to kind of regroup.
It's where
You could get there.
If you could make it there, it would be almost like Mad Max Fury Road
Sure.
to go all the way down there. But if you made it there during an apocalypse,
Yeah.
if the shit hit the fan
Yeah.
and you can get in your car and get across the border, nothing's going to happen there. So that would be a place of refuge.
And you know enough people there now that you could probably take you.
Either Kim Jong Un or
Yeah.
Putin if they hit the button,
Yeah.
that's where you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you can get there. I think you'll
that's
be
a
protected.
good call.
Yeah.
I agree.
You could go down there and be welcomed with open arms.
Well, I'm welcome with open arms anyway. I've been going there for 20 years.
All right, take it down a notch.
It is a great place.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, listen, they're drumming. I'm walking on sunshine. Wow, and trying to feel good.
Don't you want to be in a band?
Yes.
You always seem to be a lead singer type guy.
We did it. We were in a band.
We were in
we
a
had
band.
blast.
We had one show.
One show, but it was a historic
It was
show.
a lot of fun.
Well, how great was it that the guy comes up who runs the club or whatever, puts this fat wad of cash into my hand. I'm like, holy shit, wow. Me thinking that he did the same to all of you, and then we're all at Cantor's afterward. And it's like, okay, so where's that money at? Oh, I thought that was no, that's for the entire band.
Yeah, I love that. That was great. So what I'm saying is you're really a lead singer of the band. Because that's what lead singers do. Oh, it's all about me. Oh, I will take this money because this is my share. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I didn't know that's how it works.
Oh, you want help with your gear? Oh, I got to go. Bye.
Yeah. I'm the star. I can't be bothered
No,
with
you can't be bothered with
schlepping your drum kit.
being in our world at all. No, you're just the singer of your band.
Yeah.
We're just here to support you.
No, that was
fun. We did an REM cover show. We learned REM songs.
It was called It Came From the South.
And you played Michael Stipe.
Yeah.
And we all had a big show, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. I love that.
Hopefully we'll do it again with some other band.
One of the great experiences of my life.
Well, that sounds great that you can actually sort of pretend that you were a lead singer
Yes.
and have your 90-year-old audience dance. But
I miss live performing, I'll tell you that.
yeah, I mean, you're mostly behind the mic and no one really sees your face.
I'm in a dark
and
studio.
You're in a dark studio and it's all your voice. And that's really
or
great.
I'm making videos alone by myself.
But you really, really want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah, well.
I mean, you got a very interesting face.
But
If people want to go and Google Max Koch, you'll see what the man looks like.
Koch. But yeah, I just got new pictures, and I'm going to get into that. But I mean the live performance, that instant gratification of an audience response.
Yeah.
That's what I really want to do again.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a drummer, and I'm always in the back.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of watching the show, if you
Right.
will. I mean, you know what they say, the drummer has the best seat in the house.
Right.
So even though I'm in the band, I'm kind of removed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm watching the lead singer who's entertaining everybody.
Yeah.
But even though they're not looking at me, when you
Yeah.
play your own songs and you get the feedback, it's actually a pretty awesome experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it.
No, it's great. It's great. Just like the feedback that we're going to get from this podcast.
Absolutely.
It's going to be an incredibly awesome experience.
Hundreds of comments.
Oh, hundreds. Max, this has been great.
Woo!
I think I'm going to...
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
It's going to be like November 18th. Happy Halloween. Whenever this finally hits.
This will hit in the future.
Okay.
Hopefully not too long.
All right.
But, I think we covered some good ground.
I think so,
I
too.
hope that we were entertaining. And I look forward to the next one.
Never say, I hope we were entertaining, because that's a turnoff. Just say, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
There you go.
Max, thanks for coming.
Hey, thank you, brother, and I'll see you next time. We're going to do this again.
We're going to do this hopefully a lot.
Woo!
Thanks for listening, everybody. See you later.